South African, and I moved to Australia 12 years ago. And when I obviously landed here, the first thing I wanted to try is go for a ride on a bicycle in the street, and I didn't get mugged. It was an odd experience for me. I went to the shop, I left my bike outside, did the shopping, came out, and it was still there. I was like, wow, nice. Obviously the tires weren't, but at least the bike was. You know, that was good. So yeah, like when I talk to people that I'm South African and I grew up in South Africa, and they ask me things and stuff like that, and I think I was in Australia for about 2 months, and I told them, a couple I was talking to, that I'm South African, and the lady said to me, "So you're a racist?" I'm like, "Sweetheart, just look at this body. Does this look like it's racing anything?" There's only 2 times I'm running: to the toilet when I got the squirts, and to the bar when someone called the last rounds. And then I can show Usain Bolt who's racing. I wrote that today, right now. But yes, I am South African, and actually I'm not South African. I was actually born in Lithuania, which is a little country in Eastern Europe. Some tourism journalists describe it as the G-spot of Europe. So you are correct, nobody knows where it is. And those few people give such bad directions that you'll never find it. But yes, so when I actually moved to South Africa when I was quite young, and in Lithuania everyone's whiter than white. So my father had to explain to me that there was different people of different colors there. And to an 8-year-old, that didn't make sense. So my father, being the bright man that he is, he says, when God was baking people, some of them he forgot a little bit in the oven and they got burned. So 9 years old, Shiggy lands at the Johannesburg International Airport. I look out the window and I see all these African people, and I'm like, Jesus, they should never let him bake. He used to bake all of them. Yeah, apparently that's not the right thing to say. But yeah.
Turn the mic on.
You changed it off.
Ooh. Yes, no, it works. So yeah, anyways, when I landed in Australia, the lady, this is actually a true story, the immigration lady looked at my passport and she's like, she shook it. I'm like, shit, I forgot the bribe. You know, I'm pretty used to the South African ways of life. So she's like, but you're African. I'm like, yeah, but you're white. No. When did this happen? Land in Australia and the first thing they steal is my blackness. At least that's their African. Over time, sadly, the taxman has taxed it down to an average. But yeah, it's good times. This thing doesn't like me.
Well, it's your mic.
Is this my mic or yours?
It's yours.
Oh, yeah, that explains a lot. I abuse it a little bit. It's okay, baby, it's okay. Where was I? So the difference between South Africa and Australia, you know, I had to get citizenship, do the citizenship test for both of them. In Australia, when you need to do the whole medical shit, and then you got to learn things about Australia, history and culture, and you know that in 1929 you guys lost to a flightless bird with casualties. I mean, what the hell? In South Africa, the citizenship test is a lot easier. You walk in, they give you a bank of weed, top quality marijuana. If you can smoke it and then steal a BMW, you're a citizen. I used to do that about 3 times a week. Quality weed. But yes, people ask me a lot of questions about Africa and whatnot. And, you know, some of the important questions obviously is, do you ride lions to work? Psh, please, man, we don't work in Africa. Plus, with this sexy physique, I prefer a cheetah, better mileage. Another question they ask me quite often is, do you know my brother in Kenya?
Yeah.
No. Do you know how big Africa is? I feel people don't understand that. But my absolute favorite, obviously, is, you know, when they ask you about the crime, how bad it is, and is it really as bad as they see on the news and in TVs? And, you know, it reminds me of the first time I got mugged. Still a bit emotional. Was down in Rockingham. walking home from the swinging pig. This skinny little dude jumped out with a knife. I looked at his toy. I was like, that's not a knife. But obviously I didn't carry it with me because apparently you guys have a thing against weapons. So I remember at the airport they said, if you're in Rockingham, they usually methed out, give them whatever they want. South African trick, always carry a poor wallet with you. I gave it to him, he feels so bad for me, he gave me a 20. So usually on Friday night I walk around Rockingham foreshore, make about $800 and 2 points of meth. Obviously I'm not a user, so I'll be sitting in the park after the show. Thank you very much, you've been awesome.